All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Next event here at Copa Elite is Scott Dance.
Scott Dance, lightweight, black belt match coming out of District Martial Arts.
Yeah, Scott's really been in there with a lot of high-level guys. Competed against Cisneros, Ethan Krellinston, Isaac Doderlin.
Has experience on the mats with some of the best in the absolute world.
Yeah, absolutely. That lightweight division in the pro scene for no-gi, even in the gi, is so stacked. So to have that experience being in there and on the mat with guys like that, I'm very curious to see what he does versus his opponent, Michael Mehl.
And his opponent here at Copa Elite, it's Michael Mehl.
Michael Mehl, lightweight, 22 years old, very recently got his black belt.
Yeah, Team Vicente Jr. has won the IBJJF Orlando Open as a black belt.
With having just recently received that black belt too. 2021 black belt Orlando IBJJF Open, and Orlando's a hot scene for jiu-jitsu. That is tough competition down there.
Big Florida events are very, very big. I actually had a match about 7 or 6 years ago against Michael. Really, really solid back then. I can only assume that he has made massive improvements in training most of his life, and recently moved into a coaching role there at Team Vicente Jr. BJJ.
Excited to see this matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. Should be a fun match between two really experienced local black belts.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the lightweight division, fighting with a black belt out of District Martial Arts. It's Scott Dance. Also fighting with a black belt out of Vicente Junior team, it is Michael Mehl.
Action getting underway. Scott wearing the anklet, the green and yellow ankle brace, or anklet.
Yeah, Michael immediately pulls there as soon as grips are established. Again, this is a 10-minute black belt match in Copa Elite under the IBJJF rules, so heel hooks are legal, both sides. You know,
Scott,
huge depth of technique available.
Pressuring into those butterflies. Michael doing a nice job keeping his legs wide, waiting for Scott to make a mistake on his entry, and looking to enter into those grips, leg lock, leg entanglement exchanges here.
And they're doing a good job keeping tight pressure, doing a really high kind of variation of a knee shield, looking to invert under the legs. I'm curious to see. That didn't look like a knee bar entry to me. Looked like an outside heel hook entry.
Yep.
Or a 50-50 entry. Even.
And we see that from guys that are playing this wide-legged open guard position that Michael is playing here with his knees up towards his chest.
Yeah, it's so hard to pass that position. Scott putting hands on the face. Curious to see if the referee allows him to have the open hand or if he's going to force the closed hand. Done a great job trying to hip flop pass over, but Michael does a nice job inverting, gets the knees back in front, back into his guard.
Scott settling into that headquarters passing position, trying to keep a lot of pressure on Michael's bottom leg so that he can't invert the way that he is. And when Michael starts getting into that inversion, Scott's doing a nice job breaking the exchange open.
Yeah, that inversion is so good for Michael, and Scott's doing a good job identifying when it's happening and really getting out there and not really trying to do a ton to play off the inversion. Curious to see once both guys learn each other's timing if we're going to see Scott willing to play off that a little more, but he shoots heavy for that half guard guillotine, looking to pass with the knee cut pass through
and we see
Michael's guard.
The seatbelt grip around Scott's knee. This is something that we've been seeing in the high-level jiu-jitsu scene for a little while now. It's really becoming more popular where Michael has the seatbelt grip around the bottom of Scott's knee and is trying to invert through. Makes it really difficult for Scott to move.
It's such a strong position, and you see Michael use it here to looks like he's kind of looking for an outside 50-50, but he's able to salvage it to like a De La Hiva. Again, looking for that inversion. Obviously, Michael's looking for the legs here. Potentially going to go kiss of the dragon here, but Scott does a great job of shuttling his knees around to keep his base. He doesn't end up turning away, and if you turn away a lot of times there, you'll expose your back, and you give opportunity for Michael to come up there, but Scott, really, really knowledgeable and knows not to do that. Ends up back in the close guard. This is the first piece of close guards that we're going to see from Michael tonight. I'm curious. It's going to limit the inversions a little more. I'm curious to see how Scott's going to deal with this on top.
And it almost felt like Scott kind of forced Michael into this closed guard position by settling his hips in underneath.
Yeah, when you have a guy that's, so happy to invert, having him actually up in a straight closed guard like this will limit a lot of that because your knees are now down on the mat and they can't get underneath you as easily. They have to open up in order to scoop under the legs, and it gives you passing opportunities because you're so low, and they have to almost overextend to get underneath you.
And what we're looking at right here is Scott's trying to get some pressure in underneath Michael's armpits, trying to keep his chest flat to the mat so we can start a passing sequence where Michael's trying to get that inside control, make sure that Scott can't get those hands in underneath the armpits or any heavy pressure down on his chest. Because Michael really wants to stay mobile in the upper body here so that he can start to move around and create some kind of offense from this position.
Yeah, see a little bit of a triangle attempt there, again inverting for the legs.
Back into open guard where Michael's got his knees up high.
Scott looking to do a throw by quickly into the north-south. Michael inverts on it, comes up, potentially going to end up off the stage. Curious to see if the referees are going to stop it.
Real close to the edge of the stage there, but we stopped it in time. Scott's butt hit the mat. We'll be interested to see how this exchange is played out, and they're standing him back up, which I think is the right move here.
Off the mat there, I think that's the right decision to make. We're going to see Michael immediately pull into the closed guard. We're going to give an advantage. One of the corner refs is going to give an advantage there.
We're back in this closed guard. More of this inside control fighting where Scott is trying to get a lot of pressure up into Michael's chest there, trying to keep him stable on the mat and start to try to break open this closed guard. Whereas Michael's trying to keep himself mobile, get some inside control, and then maybe start being able to attack some submissions, raise his guard up into a higher guard, and mount some kind of offense here.
Michael's doing a really good job of pulling on Scott's head and pushing him down, potentially going for a calf slicer here out the back.
Scott positioned for it, but Scott's countering with a toe hold that Michael had to respect.
Scott's doing a good job. He's got his arm underneath of Michael's leg when he's clearing that knee line. His corner is also calling to control for the knee line.
But Scott's knee is out from here, and what Michael's trying to do is get his hips closer to Scott's knees, and Scott's able to break free.
That's a really nice scramble. You saw Michael immediately scramble into the guard, and Scott attempt to get around in the passing, but Michael was able to recover there. Again, we're seeing more and more of that. People throwing leg lock attempts in order to get a response, and then using it to either pass or to sweep.
It's smart jiu-jitsu.
So Michael's been doing something here. He holds down the head, and only when he has the head controlled is he willing to open up the guard here.
And that's brilliant because what we're looking at from Scott is when that guard opens up, he's trying these aggressive throw bypasses. So you don't want to give him the opportunity to explode out.
Yeah, we've seen him force the inversion from Michael a couple of times here. On that, as soon as he opens the guard, because Scott is so mobile and so willing to, throw that knee cut so hard. Somebody you want to control as the guard player on the bottom there.
We're seeing Michael look for an overhook here too, which is a nice solid control that you can keep your opponent postured down with.
Yeah, it's great because it gives you a little bit more ability than just the overhook on the head or the collar tie on the head there. It allows you to invert because that arm kind of gets trapped behind, whereas the head, you are also locked into that position if you're holding the head there. Potentially looking to set up a violent arm lock here.
Or at the very least, an arm drag position.
Yeah, fighting heavy for ties here, both guys. Scott really wants that underhook armpit grip, and Michael's doing a good job kind of rotating his hands there, trying to prevent it. Potentially going to see an entry into a high guard position. Yeah, Michael's taking this underhook position on his leg. Really good way to climb up for an omoplata entry or potentially a sweep entry.
But Scott's doing such a nice job keeping his hips back and hips low and his body weight underneath him that it's really hard for Michael to really mount any real offense because he can't get any weight on top of him to start doing what he needs to do.
And see, again, every time he opens up, Scott immediately throws that pass, and he's forcing Michael to have to control him. Scott looking to ninja roll onto the back there.
Climbing that leg up.
Almost onto the back.
Michael's
doing a great job of stopping that outside hook and going to try to turn him over, but he has the choke in, and that is extremely deep.
And you can finish this. Scott can finish this here without the hooks in.
Yeah, it's extremely deep there. I can't see the face, but
he was doing a nice job keeping his knees behind Michael's back. looking for the guillotine before settling back into the headquarters position.
Yeah, and he's going to get an advantage for that. Very, very deep. Even if it didn't have the hooks in, very, very deep submission for Scott there. They're going to give him an advantage
Second
for that,
advantage.
deservedly so. So 2 minutes left in the match. Very close match. Scott Dance on top, up 2 advantages to Michael's 1 advantage.
And boy, were those hard-earned advantages.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're back into closed guard here, a little bit more of the same. This time, though, Michael has to work a bit more. We got 1:50 left in the match.
Yeah, again, Michael's down now, so he's with that short amount of time to work, he's gonna have to open up a little more. But again, he still has to be diligent because both guys are so dangerous in these positions.
We've seen Scott explode out of these guard positions multiple times, and so Michael's got to keep that in mind as he's trying to set up his offense here.
Yep, nice pummel in, but Scott super strong there, keeping his elbows inside and preventing the entries into like a no-gi lasso almost.
Scott doing a nice job using his head to keep Michael's shoulders flat to the mat too here. If Michael can get his shoulders off the mat, he can start doing some sitting up like you see here.
Yeah, he's going to look like, again, he's going to invert for the legs. He has a minute left to work. He's got to go for that guillotine, or he's got to invert again for the leg. But Scott's kind of hip to that. I bet we're going to see Michael start to open up the guard, work for the arm bars a little more, really aggressively roll through for the legs because he has to get something going, being down 1 advantage.
Scott disengages as Michael starts to really roll into some sort of armbar attempt there.
Yeah, you know Scott's probably going to hold top position here, so it gives Michael an opportunity to really go hard into the submissions because you have a player who's probably going to just play for the top.
Whoa, Michael off the stage. There's a tech-up exchange there.
Yeah, it's a tough exchange. Hope he is okay. Looks like he's walking fine.
Like he's okay.
Again, always worried when a guy comes off the stage, but looks like he did it smartly. Michael immediately going to sit, go to the butterfly guard. Scott going to come in super heavy. Michael going to look to open the butterfly guard up with just 20 seconds left to work. Pushing on the face.
Michael
and on the
opening
chin.
his guard up, trying to just create some space here. Looking at the ref for a stalling call, but I don't think he's going to get it in this late of the match.
Yeah, Scott eventually looking to over-underpass. Comes back to the center.
Doing a nice job getting his knee inside, preventing the inversion, and we have Scott taking this 2-1 on advantages. And those were hard-earned advantages. He almost got the back and almost got the submission on that.
Nice
very
match.
legitimate advantages. A wonderful match overall.
Yeah, very, very close match. Again, love to see it at the black belt level.
But that's what you see at this level, right? You see techniques almost come to fruition, but people are smart. Everyone's good at the sport at this level, and so you might not see the points happen. That's why these advantages exist. But you still see that exciting exchange and excellent jiu-jitsu from both guys.
It's such a deep choke attempt. I'm happy that in this rule set it is worth something, especially when it comes down to so small margins. You're giving a guy an advantage. It's not points, but it is still a recognition of the work that he was able to do versus another high-level opponent.
Absolutely.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Your winner, out of district BJJ, is Scott Dance!